Hello. So this should be a quick message that the Lord just gave me. I was doing some cooking and He revealed to me, gave me a revelation. Now, this may not apply to everybody, but it applies to me and it may apply to whoever comes across this message. God is saying that some of your enemies are coming after you because they're being gone after. So there's people in your enemy's life, like you work for God, right? So you're not going after anyone at all because you work for God. But like I made a word a while back about righteous anger is justified, meaning that if you have somebody coming after you, of course you're going to try to defend yourself. God wants you to defend yourself, and He puts it upon you to defend yourself, especially if the person coming after you is lukewarm, as in 1 foot in, 1 foot out, or they just straight out represent Satan, right? The Lord wants you to defend yourself. So you work for God. You're not coming after anybody, including your enemies, but you have enemies coming after you. God is saying that your enemies have enemies coming after them. Other people that are lukewarm, that represent Satan's kingdom, are coming after them. But Satan has put it on them to make them think that you're the one doing it. What am I talking about? Okay. So say if you're minding your own business, you're not trying to get in anyone's business, you're doing your own thing, right? Say you keep to yourself so you don't have a bunch of people surrounding you that could be potential enemies. Maybe once upon a time you did, but you got rid of them as per the Lord's leading, okay? But you still have somebody coming after you, and you know you do, and yes, you in fact do. You're not crazy, you have somebody coming after you. It's your enemy from the past. But the enemy is fueled because they believe that when they're experiencing people coming against them, which they are, they're having their own enemies in their own world, their friends, their family. Like, you know how at one point in time you had your friends and family coming against you before the Lord removed every single seed of Satan from your life? Your enemies are experiencing that very same situation now. So, like, you know how they say thick as thieves? So all the thieves, they're like thieves because they're all wicked. They were all in a bunch together. But some of you have led your enemies towards God, okay? Now, they're not full-blown Christian like you. They think they are, they feel that they are, but they still have a lot of ways to go, right? But because of this, Satan is angry. He's angry that you now walk with God. You don't walk in His world anymore. And that you've turned some of your enemies that worked fully for Satan's kingdom are now trying to take steps towards God's path. He's angry at this. So what he's done is, so God has came and had your enemies' people, their friends and family, turn on them, and they're the ones going against them. But Satan is mad, so therefore he's duping your enemy to make your enemy think that it's you that's doing these things, but you're not doing these things because you work for God. So it's a round and round cycle. God is giving you vindication and justice by going after your enemies. And how He's going after your enemies that have done you wrong is by having their friends and family turning on them like was once done to you. They're going through the same experiences that you did. You know how you needed to go through certain experiences to get on the right path and journey. One of the first lessons was to practice your gift of discernment, to know who is really good-hearted and who isn't, right? And so unfortunately the majority of people in your life were not good-hearted, so the Lord removed those people from you, right? And you did it too. You yourself did it, but through the Lord's leading, because He was exercising your gift of discernment. I made words on this in the past too. So this is His judgment on your enemies. But simultaneously, at the same time, Satan is delusionaling and confusing your enemies to make them think that you're the one that's going after them, because they've started to notice that somebody is after them now. Just like how you had people after you, which was your enemies once upon a time, but you've gotten rid of them. You now walk solely with the Lord. You don't have to worry about all that drama anymore. You doing that and your enemies being hot on your heels has led your enemies into walking away from Satan's kingdom, where they're going onto the narrow path, the journey towards the Lord. But because they're going towards the journey of the Lord, one of the things that is required of them is to drop these connections around them that are not genuine good connections. In the past, they couldn't see that these weren't genuine good connections because they themselves were that same way, right? You lay down with dogs, you wake up with fleas. So because they all were dogs and they all had fleas, they thought they were one and the same. But like I've said in words in the past, the Lord has dubbed that some of these enemies of yours, they're truly seeds of Satan. So therefore, there is no redemption for them. But because God wants to save souls and he's using you as his Moses, his saver, his physical human saver, led by him, of course, he has had you go through lessons A, B, C, so that you could be the blueprint example put out so that your enemy who's been stalking you for the last 2-3 years sees the points A, B, C that you've done, the lessons you've learned. At first, they just blew it off. They thought that it was you getting, karma, or like you getting, like God judging you, like God getting on you. That's what they thought, but it wasn't. It was God actually leading you down the right, correct path. And in order to do that, you have to pack light, and you can't take toxic soul connections, whether these are friends, family, lovers, whoever. You can't take them with you, and God knows that. So it's actually for your betterment. So what can look like it's a judgment is not. It's actually a favor. It's a blessing in disguise. I've made words about that before too. So now the Lord is vindicating you by putting your enemies who've been on, like doing this, your top 3 enemies, whoever they may be, he's been getting judgment on them and justice for you for what they've done to you by putting them through the very same paces that you went through. Because some of them are seeds of Satan and some of them are redeemable. So the ones that are redeemable, he's taking on the very same journey that you went through. I just made a word about this the other day where like you were the first one to get your license, and then they're up and coming. They have their learners right now and they're going to up and come and get their license. It's the same thing. You're ahead. You're the pioneer, right? So you leading the way has now left a trail for them to follow. They followed the trail, and now they're going through the same things today in 2024 that you went through back in 2021, 2022. You have that head start, right? But because this is going on for them, it's been because of you. So Satan's mad at you that you've walked away from him back in 2020, and that now you've gotten these people walking away from him too, some of them. He's putting it in their minds to think that you're the one that's doing A, B, C to them, and you're not. You're not doing it. So, but when you fight back, because the Lord wants you to fight back as in defending yourself, they are like, oh, see, it is them. It's confirmed. But no, it's not. You're not. You walk with the Lord. Why would you be trying to, you mind your own business. You do your own thing. Why would you be doing that? You're not. There's going after the wrong one. They need to focus on who's around them. It's not me or you that's trying to steal their man. It's their sister or their best friend or their, whoever. It's not you that's doing curses on them and is frustrated with them. It's their ex's mom or their ex's family or their ex himself or herself, right? However it may fit for you. They think it's you that's causing all this upheaval, but it's not you. It's never been you. They have all this time had people in their own inner circle against them, just like you did. They trusted these people just like you trusted yours, but the Lord led you on a journey to show you that, hey, it's not so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. It's the very people that you hang out with. It's the very people that you lay down with. It's the very people that you go for coffee with or shop with or whatever. It's the people closest to you, just like Judas. It wasn't some guy's brother's sister's cousin that was going against Jesus. It was Judas, his own disciple, the one that he was teaching, the one he hung out with daily, the one he broke bread with. And so much, in fact, that Judas kissed him, meaning that's how close and intimate they were, that they could be physically, like Judas felt comfortable to kiss Jesus and Jesus received it. Right? So sometimes it's your lovers. Sometimes it's, if it's not, it's their family, or it's your family, or it's your friends. Like, look a lot closer. As the saying goes, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer, right? These people's enemies are closer than they think. So this whole time they've been thinking that it's you that's been going against them. You're not. You walk with the Lord. Why would you do that? This whole time they've been running after you as per Satan's instruction, not realizing that it's actually the people that they're talking to about this and doing this and that and the third with that are the ones that are the most against them. But it took you time to discover that cold, hard truth, right? And it's going to take them time to discover it too. So the Lord just gave me this revelation bombshell, because in my experience, in my personal situation, I have someone who's coming after me because they're experiencing upheaval in their life. And they're experiencing upheaval in their life because God is judging them for what they've done to me, right? But because they're realizing that something's up and something's weird, yeah, it's called God's judgment, they think that it's me sending ABC towards them or doing ABC towards them, but I'm not. And so God is saying that it's because Satan has done that, put that incorrect, crooked seed in their head to think that, because he's mad that you've turned away and that they're following your steps to turn away as well eventually. And so that's why the Lord is protecting you, is because he knows it's wrong. It's not correct. And meanwhile, the Lord is showing them who the right people are that are going against them. Now, again, this doesn't apply for every person, and this doesn't apply for every single one of your enemy situations. This is just, if it fits for you, it fits, right? But the Lord gave me this revelation for myself and wanted me to put this word out for others so that you could be made aware of what's really going on, because you're like, okay, I'm not even doing anything, so why does this person keep coming after me? But because you're defending yourself, they think that you're coming after them. But you're not coming after them, you're just defending yourself, which is within your human rights to do. Even God wants you to do that. He's pushing you to do that. But whether you defend yourself or you don't, you just sit back and be passive, this person won't stop. It's because they're aware of the upheaval in their life. Satan has made them think that you're the one that's the cause of the upheaval, but the cause of the upheaval is the people closest to them. Just remember the story of Judas, right? Perfect example. So I hope this makes sense. I hope it finds you well. I hope it blesses you, and God bless.